Hello, Steve White, Trick 89, Steve 89. Well, I did a video the other day about the Star Trek The Motion Picture update of the article. They showed a couple of pictures and I was very much stuck on the office building shot, mostly because the colour was all wrong. They had added green and yellow and they changed the blue, and they added a lot of contrast where some of the light brown elements of the station were now really dark, and it just didn't look the same. They changed the tone and the colour palette, and most of this was done for the HDR, I think, was it, grading, which basically is trying to basically make it so you have to have HDR to watch the movie, basically. So it feels like a bit of a gimmick, and I didn't like that. I feel like they were sacrificing the film quality for that, because not everyone's going to have a HDR screen, and some people might just want to watch it on Blu-ray on a regular plasma or something, and it's not going to look as good. It's going to be detrimental to that. So I had some issues with that really alarmed me, and then I took a close look at a few other things, and there's just more little warning signs. One of the things they wanted to do in the director's edition was add the little shuttle pod into the office building, because when they first show it, there is no shuttle pod, and then a minute or so later, Kirk and Scotty walk onto one. Well, it was on its way. It parked there just before they walked on. Fine, whatever. But they wanted to always have it there, and they did add it to some of the shots in the director's edition, but not all of them. So they added it. But when you look at it, it doesn't work. It's really sharp, and the actual image is not as sharp. And the part where they actually put it together, it should be the same contrast and focus and everything as the rest. So it looks like it's just stuck on, and it just doesn't work. And the other thing that doesn't work, that I kind of found a bit sad, they also redid a shot of the Enterprise as it was moving past, I think it was Earth, and you can see the sun coming out behind the Earth. Now in that shot, not only did they increase the contrast, so parts of the Enterprise are very white and parts are black, where you actually can't see detail you used to be able to see, so we're losing detail. They also have extra colour. The ship is now yellow instead of being white. And another thing that was really disappointing is when you actually see the sun, they'd animated it and it was coming from around the planet. You could actually see it as a different shape coming through the top layer of the atmosphere. Now all you have is a big lens flare that just blocks it, blows everything out, and all you see is that. That's just generated with computers, no artistry. It's not painted with the detail the original was. That's really disappointing, because they're taking away from the art of this. This film is a work of art. The special effects were a work of art. And to change the colour palette, to change the tone, to change the detail, to repaint things, and this is also, it can look better, and so it can look good in HDR, so people will have to watch it in HDR, because if you try and watch it outside of that, it's going to look bad. And that's all about, their agenda, not about the art, not about the film, not about the fans. So I'm very worried about what their focus is, what they're focusing on, and who is to say what looks better? This whole, we're updating it so it'll look better. Better looks like modern special effects, unfortunately, which means really contrasty, too much colour, too bright, and lack of detail, and that seems to be what they're doing, and it's really so disappointing, because it was just revealed that they did actually find all the 65mm film reels and elements that they had for the original effects, so they're able to go down and remaster a lot of the effects using all the original elements, so they can get a clarity and sharpness and detail and that they couldn't before without any of their composition issues. That was just amazing to know they were going to do that, but they're just going to ruin it by updating the effects and making them look modern. Now, it's not drastic. I'm not pretending like it's drastic and they're suddenly making it look exactly like Discovery or something, but they are doing things like that their sensibility is a modern sensibility. This is a 1979 film. That's what people want. They want that film in high definition, best quality it can, with the elements that weren't finished or missing added in the same style, tone, colour, everything, and it all matches, instead of having it done, because I hate the colour of new films. I was just watching The Dark Tower the other night. The whole film was contrasty. You can't see through the blacks. All the colours oversaturated. The people look yellow, and that's the element they're bringing to this. Like I said, it's not extreme, but it's there. And I just don't think they have any right to affect the colour and tone and the colour palette of this film. I mean, Robert Wise made a beautiful choice. This film is beautiful to look at, and is not going to be beautiful to look at anymore. It's going to be, yeah. So I'm just really disappointed because, okay, we've still got the Blu-ray, the original. We do have the director's edition in, standard definition, but this, which was supposed to be the combination of the two and the answer to both, is now going to be something that we look at and go, maybe next time they'll fix that. Maybe next time they'll just do it with a regular color grading, and not have it, because they bump up all these elements, the color and the tone and everything, because the HDR can actually make sense of this, and when you look at it through a HDR screen, it gives you detail and get depth and color and that, and contrast that you wouldn't see. But without that, you don't get it. So it's just wrong. So I'm not happy, and I'm just wondering if this is going to be the entire film, because they did say, oh, we can color grade every scene now to make it look as good as it can be and look better than the original, which means they're changing it to look like something they like, because they think there's something wrong with the original. They don't like the original. The original, I guess, was too dull because it was all these soft, cool tones of blue and beige and stuff. Now they have to make it yellow and green and red and bright and contrasty and black and white instead of... It's just really disappointing. I mean, it'll be a variation, it'll be a different version, but we're still not going to get that version that we wanted, which is the original, just fixed and finished. Now we're going to get like an alternate version of it, so I'm really not happy. And I have to vent about it because Star Trek The Motion Picture is my favourite Star Trek film, one of my favourite films of all time. I think it's so beautiful. I can look at the scenes in Vidya all day, and now I know that they're not going to look the same now. It's just really disappointing. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I got some criticism from a couple of people who think I'm just a hater, and it's like, oh, you should watch the film first. I'm like, we've already seen stills. We know what we're going to see. They've told us what they're doing. If we don't raise our voice and say something and let them know the fans aren't going to be happy with that, the actual real Star Trek The Motion Picture fans who will buy it and, keep buying it and so forth, we need to let them know so they can make some changes now, because once the final cut is in, no one's going to put the budget into doing this again, especially if the fans don't like it or don't buy it or it's not a big hit, because they're going to blame us and be like, well, we're not going to spend money on that again. We're not going to spend money fixing the problem we made. It's all the fans. It's not us. We didn't do anything wrong. We just changed the color grading, changed the tone, changed the palette, changed the contrast, made it look different, literally changed the painting of the effects to make it look like JJ lens flares instead of painted light like it was in the original. But that's their fault, because they should appreciate that. So I'm getting a bit bitter about it, but I'm going to stop before I go into a full rant. I'm going to go. Thanks, bye.